y'all doing? We
Hey.
is here. It's Saturday. It's welcome to the Little Talks podcast. We are here with the Hood Hill segment. I got my lovely co-host Shante Love.
Hey.
Hey girl, hey.
Shante.
And it is Minority Mental Health Month. So y'all know the Hood Hill segment is all about mental health, healing, and all that good stuff. So we are like to this month because it's Minority Mental Health Month. And we're gonna talk all about being Black and the effects of that on your mental health.
Something I know quite a bit about.
I think we all do.
We all do.
You know, blacker than this screen right here. We blackity black.
I know.
Blackity black.
Actually 4 different states. That's how great it is.
Plus these experts we got down here as well.
Shout out to the experts, okay? Shout out to the Black therapists. Woo! Shout out to the life coaches. Woo! I'm all for all of that. I love all of this. So this is gonna be really. I'm excited. I'm so excited. It's my happy place when we're talking about mental health.
I mean, it got to be talked about more. We have to bring it up more. It's a part. For so long, people just wouldn't say anything, and now we're making it part of daily conversations to break that stigma. The more we're talking about it, the more people bring awareness to it, themselves, for other people. Shoot, I'm quick to call somebody crazy. I don't know if they're crazy or not, but I'll call them crazy. But I'll show them where to get some help.
Okay,
I'm quick. Y'all know Shante Love. Y'all know her. Y'all know her. She gonna always bring the jokes, and she probably a little serious too on that one.
It's healthy. It's healthy. You have to laugh.
Yes, you gotta laugh. Laughter is good for the soul. So, before we get into the conversation, though, because I know we can, I do want to give you all space to introduce yourselves for the folks who may not know you. So, I'm gonna go with you, Miss Sandra. Could you please introduce yourself to the folks out there?
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Sandra Bryant, and I am affiliated with Empower and Rejuvenating Comprehensive Services, which is a mental health counseling, therapy, heart-to-heart Christian life coach services, all around holistic. Because when you start talking about mental health, you need Jesus. And with him, he has equipped us to do everything that we're doing. And it is such a pleasure to work with you ladies. And Miss Keely, that's my girl. Thank you.
Jesus on the main line. Yes, Miss Sandra.
And he is listening.
That's right.
One thing I love that she said, though, yes, you gonna get Jesus, but you're also gonna get this mental health services,
right?
You gonna get these services too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. Go ahead, Miss Keely. Tell us who you are.
So, hello, everyone. My name is Keely Finney. I am CEO and founder of Rejuvenating Comprehensive Services and Empower. And mental health, social and emotional health, everything is important to us. Like she said, a holistic approach. Of course, faith is our foundation. And, God sent us helpers. Jesus sent us helpers. So, and we are the helpers that we know we're working for him. So, mental health is so important in our communities. And I'm excited to get into this topic.
Yes, welcome Miss Keely and Miss Sandra. Really excited, not just because I know them, but that too, but just overall, I'm ready to get into it. So, usually, how we start, and nothing's gonna change. We like to do a little icebreaker. It is who would you hug, high five, and hang out with? It can be anybody. celebrity, non-celebrity. So I'm going to call on our very lovely host, Vanna, to kick it off on who would you hug, high five, and hang out with.
She give me every time, y'all. And I'll be over here not ready. Um Ooh, who would I hug? I am going to hug all of the people out there who are struggling with any type of mental health issues. I'm hugging on y'all because I'm like, stay strong. As someone who knows all about anxiety, who's had things with depression, I know it sometimes feels like it's a battle that you are never going to win, but you can come through. So I'm hugging all of my peoples out there in that space. High fiving. I'm high fiving all the Black therapists out here. I just love that there are more representation in that space for Black people, because I do think, again, it is important for us to take care of our mental health because we know what we've been through over generations. We know what we're going through right now in this time frame of our lives. So checking on our mental health and having people who look like us in that space to help us do that. I just want to high five all of y'all. And I missed one.
You
Who I'm
did
hanging
hang
out
out.
with.
Yes.
Who I'm hanging out with. Who am I hanging out with, y'all? I I don't even know. I do want to hang out with. I want to hang out with myself. I do. I really want to get like I do. I would love to take a daycation and be in the room by myself. Am I gonna do that? I probably ain't gonna do it, but I should. I need to, but I'm not gonna do it. I need to though. Let's manifest that happens. So
Okay.
there's mine.
Okay, okay. It trips me out that we've done this almost every episode for season 4, and yet you always feel like you don't know. Like, don't you prepare every time? You be like, I don't know what I'm saying.
I want to come off like I want it to be authentic. I don't want to be sitting up here with a list.
I mean, it's a check-in though. Maybe it was somebody during the week.
I've been hanging out with a lot of people during the week. I'm tired of hanging out. No,
That's why you say you hang out with yourself. She over people.
I don't want no more meetings. No more Zoom.
Nope, I get it. I get it. So now that we kind of got the gist of it, Miss Keely, who will you be high fiving, hugging, and hanging out with?
Okay, I would be high fiving all of the people who have chosen to take care of their mental health because I think that is great. So I'm going to high five each of those individuals to keep them motivated. I'm going to hug myself because sometimes we have to encourage ourselves. And I am going to hang out with. Um, I have two. Can I hang out with two people?
You can.
Okay. So I'm gonna hang out with Jesus so I can get to Tupac. So
Oh.
we gonna. So we gonna all be we're gonna hang out together, okay?
Oh,
I was not expecting that. Okay,
I really,
she
but
want
I
to
did.
change the rules, and then she want to go to the upper room.
Meet my almost forever. You know?
Oh,
thug life, baby, all day, every day. It'll do you like that. Look at Jada. Look at Jada.
Okay.
nah.
You know, I understand. I relate. You know.
Oh my
You're
God.
not. Thank you.
You going up to the upper room to go meet Tupac. All right,
That's a 2-for-1 though. You know.
I mean, it is. You got to be one to get the other. So, I mean, that was smart. That was smart. All right.
I love it. I love it.
All right. Look at this. You ready, Miss Sandra? What
I
about you?
guess so. Yes. I would love to hug my husband again. That's I'm always hugging Jesus, so we got it like that. But I would love to hug my husband again. Um, I would like to high five all of those who have made an actual conscious decision that mental health does not mean you're crazy. It just means that you haven't dealt with some issues that you didn't know were issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I love hanging out with my grandbabies
Okay.
because they teach me stuff.
Right.
Like the truth is the truth, life be life but they have to show me what contents to use it in because I have it all mixed up. So
Okay, life be life, and yeah.
yeah, see,
Grandbabies keep you hip. That's
oh
what it
yeah,
is.
they
They
do,
keep you
and
hip.
young, yeah,
Yeah,
they do.
I
So
love
I
it.
like.
I love it. I love
Mhm.
it. All right, Shante,
Now
you
I
up?
gotta change my answers. Y'all be trying to keep stuff to the topic. I'll be all about like, Michael B. Jordan was gonna be in the mix, but now I gotta change up my
Well, that's who
stuff.
you want to hug.
Why do
No,
you have to
because
change?
everybody else saying
Why change it?
Right.
profound mental health stuff. Now I got
I hung Tupac. I mean, I hung out. What I
you
do? Hang
did.
out with
You
him? Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to high five everyone struggling with anxiety and high functioning depression. I know it's not really a thing yet, like they haven't really studied that, but
Mhm.
I've been dealing with that for the past couple of weeks. Like you don't want to do anything, you don't have the urge to do anything, but you have to.
Mm-hmm.
And as a mother and a caregiver, I don't have that choice to kind of just sit still. So I would, did I say high five? Everyone trying to do their best to get through those stages. I would hang out with um Tyler Perry, because he got the people in the uproar. Me and Tyler fit to hang out. We fit to talk because we fit to talk about it, baby. He got the people in the uproar. And I'm like, that's what he does. I don't know why it's new for y'all. This is it. Either you like it or you don't. Either way, he making his money and he paying the black folks, and I'm for it.
I want to
Um,
hang out with him too, so I'm gonna have to jump in on that one. But keep
yeah.
going.
And you already know because I need a little extra love in my life. I want to hug my babies. They're gone for the summer. I only see them maybe a couple of days, depending on like if they have things going on this side of the water. So I'll hug my babies because I kind of miss that. Honorable mention though, because I'm glad they're gone because I need a break. I would definitely hug Michael B. Jordan because I need some love. And if I can't get it from them, then I can get the other kind of love from Michael B. So yeah, that's my high five hang out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
Already
it
do.
again. Y'all better tag Michael B. Jordan up in this space.
They need to.
They
We need
might.
to have him on the hood talk. Shoot.
Yes,
You know what?
come on, Michael.
Now,
He is the
go
right.
ahead with Michael. Give me Denzel.
Oh,
Okay, Miss
now,
Sandra.
Sandra, you know that man got a wife.
Well, now we're not. It's a
We
possibility.
hanging out though. I
Something,
get it. We
yeah.
gonna hang
So
out.
maybe he can sneak around the corner. Okay, Lord. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Paula don't look like she
And
Play-Doh.
this is definitely recorded, Miss Sandra.
I said I'm sorry. I've already repented. I'm sorry.
You seen that new
It's okay.
Gladiator poster? I ain't gonna lie.
Mom,
Uncle Denzel looking kind of
Oh
fire.
I'm
Lord.
about to say, I think Paula know what she got on her hands, baby. He is not a bad looking man. He one of them
yes.
black men that the older they get, the more they look
That's
cool. Like,
it.
But it's
I know,
really with him. It's not about his looks. It's his character. He
mm,
has not changed from point A
I was.
to point B.
yeah.
He's always been the man that he's been and says he is, and he has evolved immensely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I love about
He's
him.
the total package for sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I'm not
So
Paula holding
that's
on tight.
Let me see. Let
that's
me see if his son available.
Girl, you know what? You gonna just drop Michael B like that?
yeah. Did you see it?
People get married multiple times. Michael B would be my second one. So who's to say?
Oh man.
Dante, stop.
Might
You done
not
pushed the
be.
man down to second. He was first
Second,
many
right?
years ago now.
I gotta defend
Y'all,
my baby.
y'all hilarious. Oh my god, y'all funny.
Oh.
That is too funny.
Well, thank y'all for playing in our shenanigans. As you see, it's always a good time, and it
Yeah.
definitely opens up the space. So I appreciate you all. The next thing that we kind of move into, just to kind of open our conversation, is who you checking on. And when we say who you checking on, we specifically thinking about like in the space of mental health. or just someone that, needs the extra, like, I see you. Um, and I'm tag Shante Love. I'm gonna let you go ahead and demonstrate how that goes, so
Okay.
we can kick it off.
Um, I'm going to check on my little niece kind of goddaughters because they're all becoming young women and young adults now, and this is not a safe place for black women, especially young black women. um so I definitely want to check in on them, make sure I try to reach out to them when I can, just because it's a lot of heavy things that are on our shoulders at a young age, with kids, without kids, trying to navigate careers and stuff like that. And isn't always, how can I say, it took me so long for me to be authentically me, and I'm
Mm.
almost in my 40s. Oh, Jesus, I said that out loud. But I know as they enter into their 20s and stuff like that, it's trying to discover who they are and then still have the world tell them who they should be, and having that struggle and balance. I remember that all too well. So I would check on them.
Mm.
That's real.
That was really good.
Yeah, I
That's,
think that is. I agree with you that, and when you look back at your younger years, as someone who's 35,
I know, girl. I think about it.
I had to think about it. Like, oh Lord, where I'm at. when you, when you think about it, and like you said, them 20s, you really didn't know. Like, you didn't know. You just
No.
out there just moving and shaking, and you really didn't grasp what you wanted to be, who you are. You don't really find that out until you start getting more towards like that, mid 30s age range.
Well,
Maybe
life
in
be
late
hitting.
30s, you lucky if you get it in your early 30s. But mid, like right now, I really find like you find your space.
Mhm.
So it is a challenging to see other young women dealing with a lot of that and doing things that is somewhat detrimental to who they're going to be in the future.
Ooh,
Um,
mm-hmm.
I was just having a conversation, and I was saying that, low key, like we talk about all of the young kids out here that's doing stuff like downtown and stuff. I was like, we used to hang out at the riverfront.
Mhm.
yep.
Man,
Mhm.
young
Right.
age on the riverfront. You hear me? Doing things. But we did the difference is we didn't have people, watching us like that. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? In a sense, like we didn't have the light on us.
Mhm.
So I think that is the difference with this generation. I really feel sorry for them because they could make one bad mistake and it's gonna follow them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Because somebody done took it on camera and ran with it. So
And it's so many things that are different. I think they have access to a lot more. Um, they are more aware than we were. So the
mhm,
social media and the different laws and things that they are allowed to do is different.
yeah,
So their lens is totally different than ours, and we try to compare it and judge instead of really getting in their faces and figuring out, why they are the way that they are.
yeah,
So it yeah, it's definitely different now. So
it
that's
is.
definitely a population that we have to pray for daily and check in on. So I totally agree with you, Shante.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do too.
And I also believe that, like you were saying, you didn't come into your own into awareness of who Shantae was till you was almost 30, 35. There are women today that are 50, 60,
Mm-hmm.
70 who
Yes.
Don't even.
still have not come into their
Mm,
awareness. So now you're talking about the children that are, they said, not left behind, but they are because the village has dispersed.
That's right.
So they
yeah,
don't even have the same kind of village that we had.
Yeah.
So that's who I'm focusing on is those women, kind of do the mirror check. Let's go and look at yourself and see whatever it is that you did or didn't get
Mm-hmm.
that you wanted and should have got, and then find out how to get it for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and then go back and help somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I like about going back. Other than that, just keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. And
yes.
just to add to that real quick, Miss Sandra, you're right, the village thing. I think I always would say this. I don't know how many people would agree, but that village concept left with the crack epidemic. And I think I know my generation and the generation before, we don't take, um, we don't acknowledge how we dropped the ball. So what we're seeing now is the result of us dropping the ball. Whether it was us trying to achieve so we can get out because we didn't have that village and not coming back and grabbing one, or being able to try to influence because we look on at numbers, and we should, if we can shave one, if we can just one, two, but we look at that and we think it's lost, but it's not lost because we can always plant seeds, and that's what they need. They need us to be relatable, and so, instead of judgmental. We
Hmm.
don't give that often, so we're trying to tell them what to do. We were talking about this earlier this week, Miss Sandra.
Right. I
I posed the question, do you talk at your children or with them? And we talk about them, about our past to them, but do we understand their present? And we don't, because we don't try to. So,
Yeah. And a lot of times also that leads to the mental health issue. My generation didn't even understand that it had trickled down from our generation that before that we're now or did do to your generation. So you were saying, "Oh, I'm not doing that to my kids. No, I'm not going to let them do this."
mm-hmm,
Instead of learning out how to do what was done to us better.
right. Mm-hmm,
Not I'm not saying it was so bad, but it was all they knew.
mm-hmm.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
what you can only do what you know to
yeah.
do until you learn to do better. And
Mm-hmm.
then once you do better, you can give better.
That's right.
And when that doesn't happen, something gets lost in that equation.
That's right.
So I want to say everybody dropped the ball,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
because it was just too many holes. And
Mm-hmm.
now to try to go back and you don't have enough people to fill them.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
You
I
really
think a
don't.
lot of people feel like they they can't go back and get someone because they're trying to heal what they were going through. But I can't remember who I was talking to. It might have been when we were talking to Ronnie. I mean, it was like you don't have to be healed to have hope and help.
That's right.
Like it's okay if you're still going through that.
Oh, okay.
That's
Show
right.
them, be
Uh,
vulnerable, be open.
yeah, and notice that which you're going through by helping somebody else is how you get healed.
Mm-hmm.
Because you recognize, hey, that happened to me. I didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what can I do to prevent them from feeling what I felt where they can move forward and not be crushed like I was?
Mm-hmm.
And in that process, you have to be careful. I think so. Healing is continuous, and I think as long as we're breathing, we're going to be healing. So we have to, on one end, be aware of where we are in our healing, and if we're going to wound someone or we're going to help them. And on the other side, we have to be confident in our ability to share our testimony and help someone else from where we've come from. Because if we don't recognize every little big step that we're taking in our healing process, we'll always feel like we're not making progress. So we have to, it's a fine line between that. We have to make sure we're in that process because we don't want to mislead anybody or re-traumatize or re-hurt someone. You want to make sure I'm in a place where I'm definitely coming from a good place and I know what I'm doing, that I'm not going to hurt you more.
Right. And that's why we said our foundation is Christ. Because if you listening to God, He's not going to lead you where you crush somebody.
Mm-hmm.
He's not. That's not His forte. Now what we do with what we hear is something different. But He's always going to lead us right. He's going to lead us to the right person. Going to give us the words to say to them to comfort them while they go through the process. And it's not our process.
Mm.
Ours is just to stand there and be the tool while they go through that process. So, and I think that's a lot of time. And with mental health, like Keely said, you have to know your audience. You have to know what the diagnosis is, and it's all good. It took me a long time to try to put those two together. I was like, nah, come here, I'm finna spring some oil on you. And
We
then,
thought we thought about that.
yeah, we
Like,
did.
I can't do this without talking about Jesus. I'm like, there's a balance. You could create a balance, and
Well, I wasn't finding. It was like
but you had.
all or none. Look here. That's a demon. I don't know what that one is, but look at here.
Yeah.
I had to learn. I'm
It's important though.
like,
It's important to have that balance because you'll lose those because everyone is not on that same page. But there's a way to read. You want to read. You don't want to exclude anyone. Right. So you want to be careful. It's not cookie cutter. You have to know, like you said, you have to know who you're dealing with and what their needs are because one person's needs are not the same as another. So you have to really make sure that you're not operating out of self and what I feel is right or what I believe, but what you need because I'm in this capacity to help you.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know we got all off of the.
I know.
I was just getting ready to say we were going because we could have kept talking. I really.
We already going.
We were doing check-in.
Y'all was dropping gems, and I'm just like, especially that when you always breathing, you always healing. Like it's just a continuous path.
Yeah.
So that's real. Y'all was dropping gems. Miss Sandra, you kind of went though, right? You said
no, that was me. I think they were piggybacking off what I said. I think. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think nobody else.
They wasn't playing. They came not to play.
No. See, that's what happens when I be serious. Because usually when I say I'm checking on somebody, I usually pick some celebrity drama. But see, I was trying to be real serious this time.
Yeah. And you kind of touched
and it took it to the topic where
it
got deep. It got deep real quick. But that's what it did. So we could continue though. So Miss Sandra, if you want to go, just who you want to check out.
Actually, it would be the older women and the mothers who actually either missed a part of knowing who they really are in order to give back so that the young people that Shante was talking about won't be in such a dark place, at such an early age. I mean, like life be life and it's going to happen anyway. Yeah. So if they have the right tools, they'll be able to navigate through it with less pain. So yeah, it would be the mothers that missed it. And then for this generation, some of the mothers out here really bad because mental health, they trying to deal, so they self-medicate. Then you got the drug issue to worry about and everything else that they're trying to.
Suicide rates.
Yes.
The data shows that Black women are dying at high numbers because of suicide. They're taking their own selves out now. This is like after postpartum. This is just after having babies.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect example.
It's the coping. It's the coping, the being feeling alone, isolated. And all those things can happen in parenthood, but it goes back to what we just talked about, like the village. And the mindset too. And even just like you said, life be life and it's hard trying to take care of children, working these jobs in and out. Like it's a lot. So,
and then COVID didn't make it any better.
It did not.
With that isolation. Yeah. So
what you said, we got it got normal. And so then now you have anxiety going into spaces with people,
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad you touched on that suicide, the suicide of the Black women, because even in the Black culture altogether, a few years ago, maybe I don't know how many, but suicide wasn't seen as a Black people's thing. When you read someone were taking their lives or someone took their life, it was like, I know that wasn't a Black person. But now it has increased in our community, and for so many reasons, because we've missed it for so many reasons, and I'm sure we'll get into that, but that's something that we have to be mindful of, which brings me to who I'll check on. I'll check on my strong friends because they're lost. They're forgotten. You think, oh, she's strong, she'll be okay, but no one thinks to check on the strong friends. So you think about some of the suicides recently in the media, it's the, strong individuals that you thought were strong and had it all together, but we're not talking to anybody. So guess what? Because no one's checking on me because they think I have it all together because I've been taught that I have to keep it together. When you think about the Black culture, and I'm sure we'll get into that as well. Okay, so my only out is let me go ahead and end this before I mess up, my image. So it runs hand in hand. So I would definitely check on my strong friends because they are often left behind because they think they have it all together.
You hit a nerve on that one. I was just saying because usually
Yeah.
they call in and be like, "Can you need out? Can this?" And it ain't just like literally like, "Hey, are you okay?"
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It
Right.
is.
Right.
Yep, that is real. I guess it's up to me, right now, and I wanted to check on all Black people. Or let me say, not yes, all Black people, but Black people who are tuned in to, because I don't even want to say woke Black people who are, because you know how they go with that word, but Black people who are really aware and tuned into what is happening in our world right now. I want to check on us. And I say us because I'm trying to be somewhat follow the political space and the political world and the laws and on every level. Like you try to tap into these things and you see the craziness that's really happening and it can take a really big toll on you. All these TikTok videos that's talking about all these different things. I know like some people think like, oh, you just gotta turn it off, but I'm just like I think we done turned it off too much. So I just want to check on folks who are in that space and seeing what we are like up against right now because it's real out here. It is. So
Mm-hmm.
Like, America's in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I am working on my dual citizenship because I don't know how much more I can take.
man, that's
Yo.
real. And that goes back to being Black and your mental health instead of your mental health. I think it's important for us to continue having these conversations because we couldn't have these conversations.
Right.
There was no Miss Sandra. I know you said like in your generation, you feel like um, maybe like y'all dropped the ball or something. But at the end of the day, too, we have to acknowledge that a lot of the generation it's kind of been passed down in a sense. Like if you a slave, you ain't got no right to talk about mental health today. Like I don't care what your mental health is, that ain't nothing you gonna talk about.
Well, even in the slavery aspect of it, for us as Black people, the pride aspect of that was Uncle Johnny is okay, but we're gonna take care of him. We're not sending him to a hospital or anything. But
Mhm.
Uncle Johnny stayed in that room by himself, but we made sure he was fed. He okay. He sit in that rocking chair, just don't bother him. He
Yeah,
was mentally ill.
yeah.
But rather than trust, which we have valid reasons for
We do.
not,
I'm about to say we have it. We do
we have
have valid
valid
reasons.
reasons not, but when I say we dropped the ball, we didn't try to find an alternative way
Mm-hmm.
to find.
Mm,
I think now this is my personal. I think we as Black people are brilliant.
yeah.
Definitely. I know
What
we
I
are.
mean,
what
without
you said?
doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just saw this little piece where I thought cornrow and hairstyle was just something we did to enhance our beauty.
Mm-mm.
They use that for maps,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
try to show how to get away. And
High
the Silk
food.
Road, yes,
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Survival. Like what?
right. And it was
Come
like,
on.
what the? I thought this was, I was blown
Survival.
away. So we are brilliant as a
Yes.
people.
Yes.
But can you imagine us being like the cornrows and
Mm-hmm.
coming together and intertwining all, baby?
We
What?
will be, and
I
that is
know.
why we're up
Mm,
against what we're up against. Because if we really get, y'all know that it's a picture or it's something that where it's all the people that sitting under the table and they sit under the table and everybody will like, if you just get up under the table, you will like, up, you'll lift the table and
just
you'll
hit
knock it
the
all
table.
off.
That's it.
Yeah, you'll flip the table. I think that is how we, in a sense, are. We are so like just, well, this is how we supposed to be, and this is what we supposed to be doing. Is normalized. But when we really get to know, like, no, if we get out of that and flip this table, the things that can happen to us for
Yeah,
our
but
people and
before we can flip that table, if one of us stands up and the table starts rocking, what do we do? Sit
pull
down.
it back down. Yeah.
Because that's how we've been conditioned. And if you think about it, so my question is this. Is it a lack of knowledge? So when I think in terms of mental health, so when I think about mental health and how we're just getting on board with that as Black people, is it because we don't know? So personally, I think about my daughter who struggles with mental health issues when it comes to OTD, obsession compulsive disorder. And I can remember when she was first diagnosed, my dad was like, "Babe, we don't have that." But when you think about it, it's an anxiety disorder. So guess what? How many of us struggle with anxiety? How many have a touch of hoarding? You know, how many collecting stuff because we never had anything and now we're hoarding because it's a nervous condition? How many of us are anxious when we, go to the store or look at the TV? Or how many of us have health anxiety? It's so many things, but because we lack knowledge when it comes to mental illness and it's looked at so negative and a stigma that's attached to it, we don't address it. So like Miss Sandra talked about the uncle in the room, yeah, he okay. He's always been that way. We just gonna take care of him, but we don't think about what the issues are that he's dealing with and the result of where it came from. The root of it. So if we are educating ourselves and each other before we judge, and it's something that we say around here. We know the what, we can see the what, but we're not even investigating the why. You know, we're not doing that. So we're missing it when it comes to mental health in our culture.
Yeah. I think it's that also goes into like our youth, right? We see them acting out, but we're not asking why. We're not asking why
And
they're acting.
then they're telling us why, and then we're not listening.
They're liberated. Wait a minute. The youth
They're
are
telling us
so
why because they're
self-aware.
smarter than us.
They know. They Google, they research, they do more reading and stuff than we do. And they'll come in telling you this is what's wrong with me. And because we're not used to it, a parent will say, "Go sit down. There's nothing wrong with you." And that's when we miss it. And you think about it goes back to the suicide rate. I'm telling you what I need. But because we're these Black individuals who's supposed to be strong, it's nothing wrong with you. And then when something happens, it's like, what happened? You missed all the signs. So one thing about this generation, they're going to tell you, this is what's going on with me. Now, are we listening is the question.
And not only are we listening, is do we know where to go to find out if what they're telling us is legit for why they're telling us? Because our kids are so much smarter than we are. And then that's where I can see the imbalance with spirituality.
Yes.
God got you. Come here and let me pour oil on you. And yeah, but God got some therapists over here. Come on now. That's just you. We don't want to be real about it. I'm not. You can't take nothing from Jesus anyway. But he make us stupid. So come on, let's just do this right.
I'm about to go over here and shout, yes.
And when you add that piece in, when you know to add that piece in, that's when you're exercising strength versus being strong. When we're strong, we cocky, we know it all, we don't need any help, we're gonna pray it away. But when we realize that we are women and men, Black women and men of strength, we know when we can't do it by ourselves. So
that's it.
My favorite scripture in the Bible is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. It's not my strength, it's his strength. And when I can recognize that, I break down that wall what society has told me that I have to be this strong woman. And who has that? But we have taken on that jacket and that causes more things, and that's gonna go into some health issues.
And wearing it with pride.
Okay. And don't want to keep it up. It's too little. Look, we busting out of it, but we want to keep this jacket. We
holding on tight. And you just don't know, if you let it go, you'll feel so much better.
It's the trust. It's the trust or the lack of trust.
It is. I think because it goes back to the conversation too. I think we talked about it at one point, you all, when we talked about the family dynamics. A lot of the trauma is not, yes, it's the systems and the environments, but a lot of times who we see causing the trauma are the folks who look like us now. And so it is the distrust with each other, because no longer are we talking about, what, let's keep it real, the white man done, right? We starting to look like, well, he all the way over there, and you right here, uncle. You the one that done, rubbed up against me a couple of times. Or it's you, your mama, your boyfriend, and I done told you, and you ain't trying to change. You ain't letting them go. You ain't doing nothing about it. You ain't addressing it. Or it's the way you talking to me, mama. You mad at everybody else taking it out on me. Like it's those things that then it's just fostering up of anger and resentment, and we don't want it. The family is no longer the same family because all those secrets we be like, just put
That's
them
it
on
right
under
there.
the rug,
Yeah,
and you like you said, y'all be all right. You'll be all
What
right.
goes on in this house stays in
in
this
this house. And you think about who was your first bully? Who was your first bully? Probably someone in your household. Who was the
Yep.
first person to
Yep.
hurt you? Probably
That's
someone in your
somebody in the
household. Who
household.
was the
Yep.
first person to violate you? You think about those things, and it's not typically outsiders.
truth.
So that's where it comes from. And then on top of that, dealing with the trauma that is on outside of the house, right? Then you're
Yep.
talking about the systems, you're talking about the environment. So you don't get no relief at all. That,
Mm-hmm.
that would you would want to be
Of
take
course,
those
I
steps.
got high blood pressure and all that. Like, yo,
Whew,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. And it's so compacted because you think about even with that being like I said, your first bully, your first abuser, because it's generational. So
Mhm.
dad repeated what was done to him, or cousin repeated what was done to her or him, and it's just a continuous cycle until somebody becomes that cycle breaker and choose to do something different. So you got to dare to be different, and when you do that, yeah, you looked at differently. Your family are against it, but someone has to break the cycle. And
Right.
that's when
but
it
and then it
becomes
goes back to also to
That
why the
part.
families don't look the same, because sometimes it looks like breaking away from that family.
Yeah.
yes.
Or you think you better than us.
That's it.
That's the first thing. So that's just added on to what they've already
I'd
done.
be like, and is like I ain't about to be over here yelling and crying. And is
And
Right.
then
I'm
on
better
that
in the
part,
sense that I want to take care of myself and
Yeah.
my future and my babies.
and the
Mm-hmm.
part too of she thinks she doing like I've been told I've been raising my kids white, which I don't understand what that means, but that goes to talk about where we are as a people. And then also your kids still ain't gonna be nothing. Like why do we have to have that mindset if someone is trying to do something differently? I'm gonna speak for myself. It's hard for me to just be like, I'm just gonna ignore it and just keep doing what I've known has caused harm.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's easier for people to just do that because it's what they know. It's
Mm-hmm.
I think trying to do stuff new or do something different, people are like, it's too hard because I don't
Mhm.
know what I'm doing. But it's like at least try. You have to
Right.
But
try.
it's outside of the parameters of what they're used to doing and
Mm-hmm.
what they are used to seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And that is different.
Mm-hmm.
And different doesn't always go over well.
Mm-hmm.
This is how we've been doing it. This is how it's always been done. This is how you should do it. You make that change, we got a problem.
Threw off the whole ecosystem, boy.
Hmm. Right.
Yeah, I wish
And
it
you,
was easier for people
mhm.
to just at least want to, especially us as Black people, try something different, try something new, get outside of our norms and our comfort zones, and find those spaces. Because I know a lot of times people are like, well, it's hard to find them, but there is a lot of resources. St. Louis got a lot of Black organizations that's doing great work like yoga, the collective, you
Every
know.
Saturday 9 o'clock. Well, not every Saturday, but I be there.
Mhm.
But there is like I'm just saying like there is some great spaces. I know I just saw Bridge to Hope has like this sip and read thing that they're doing. I thought that was so dope. Like getting Black people to come together, adults to read books together. I just wish we would like if it's something that simple that can help you because I also know that people be like, oh, therapy ain't my thing, and that may
Mhm.
be fine if therapy ain't your thing, but you have to find a healthy outlet because
Mhm.
what's happening is we're not finding healthy outlets, we're not finding healthy spaces to be in. We are just we're just toxic on top of toxic on top of
Mhm.
toxic,
This
and
And
might
you think about. Go ahead, Miss.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say you think about that though. It goes back to what Miss Sandra and Shante said about trust. Everyone is not aware of all those outlets that's here. If I haven't seen anything work for me, I'm going to be skeptical about it. So it's not the easy. I remember growing up in the hood, and I didn't think anything existed out of the hood. Right? I didn't think I was going to be able to do anything but My goal in life was to graduate from high school, sign up for food stamps. I just didn't know everything else was attainable. But once I knew, I decided to go after it. I remember I used to work in a school and I was asking a group of young men, like, what is it that I can help you with? And one guy said to me, just show me that it's possible to get out the hood. And that brought me to tears because I was him. I was him. I didn't know I could, but God placed me with some good people that showed me, hey, they believed in something I didn't believe in myself. So it sounds so simple to go sign up for this and you can do it, but I have to know that it's going to be worth my time because I'm still dealing with these issues. I'm still broken. I'm still in this household and this family system that's toxic because no one knows and no one has the capacity to lead me in the right direction. So again, it's so compacted. That's why it's up to us to really plant seeds where we can. Miss Sandra has a group, Women with Seed, and I think it's the perfect name because we have to plant seeds. We may not be the one who water it or give it sunlight, but if we're planting them, we got to trust that we're going to see it blossom. And I'm telling you, I've been in this field so long that I'm able to see them. These young children are looking older than me, and they're like, Miss Keely, and they turn to a child when they see me. And I'm the same way when I see my middle school staff. I turn 13 when I see them, and I'm almost 50. So, go figure. But we need to keep being the example, keep getting the information out there. That's why I love your platform, because it's getting it out there.
Yeah. And then you think about when you say planting a seed, you don't get to pick the soil that you plant the seed in because there's too many needs out here. I got a crack house across the street from me.
Mm-hmm.
I got a halfway house down the street from me. So, okay. And they out there, but I have to remember I have a sister that's on drugs. So whatever I'm doing for them, I'm praying that somebody will do for my sister. And it also helps me understand my sister a little bit better. Because they out there, hey, auntie, no, I'm not your auntie. Now, I'm going to keep it real with you, but I will help you. It's okay, let's have a talk. Come on, sit down. And I'm going to feed you while I talk to you. That's soul food.
That's it.
Right there. Let me talk to you.
Yeah. And sometimes that's all people need is outlets. Sometimes people just want to be heard and they want to just talk and get their story and their experience out and get an outlet. So shout out for holding space because I think that is so it's underrated.
Right.
Holding space is so valuable. Like you said, no judgment. Just being able to pour your truth out.
Yeah, that's it. Let's just talk about it. And then you get to see that the why. And then you stop, even if you internally judge without trying not to let nobody see you judge it. But why is she out here half naked? Then when you talk to them, she's out here because I got 7 kids and I'm trying to get better. But where your kids at? I'm trying to go see them, but my sister took them, but she never gave them back. I said, do you know why? No, I don't know why. Do you know why? I said, yeah, baby, look, you still on the street. How you going to raise your kids? Would you want your kids to see you like this? See, and it's just thought-provoking, and I don't want you to see it. But to me, that's a seed. Because before, you could care less.
Right.
You showing that you care. And that's what people want to know, too, especially you. Yeah, that you care.
They need that, for sure.
You're showing that you care. I'm interested in knowing what you're thinking and what you're going through. I see you, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I see you. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And I got that from what's that movie? I'm a movie person.
Tyler Perry, not playing.
No, not his movie.
I saw her clowning on here.
No, it's the Aqua movie with the little people with the ears and stuff. For the blue people, they weren't really people. They put on these suits. Oh Lord, never mind, young folks.
She a movie person. She on.
Yeah.
She said with the ears. I'm talking about the boy
on that one.
I'm not really so hard. Is it Avatars?
Yeah,
he's Avatars. Is that
it? That's it, baby. Avatar. And she kept
saying blue at least.
I know.
I said blue with the ears.
She did say blue.
I missed it.
And that's all he kept saying. I see you. And I couldn't understand. But when he finally got it, I mean, I'm paying attention. I understand you. I
Mhm.
Yeah.
see you. And when you start dealing with mental health, the minute they figure out that you really paying attention to them, it sparks them. Now, I'm not saying it cures their mental illness because I'm not a doctor or expert in that field. I just know how to get you there so that you can go get the help you need. So I'll stay in my lane.
Mhm.
But if I can get you to understand somebody cares
Mhm.
and understands, that's
Mhm.
the difference right there.
Relatability, being able.
Relatability.
Especially
Mhm.
somebody that
Like that.
Yeah,
look like, yeah.
Yeah.
Representation
yeah.
matter. And I think
There,
I was just gonna say if we see each other more, man.
yeah, yeah.
And
That's
if we exercise our power, sometimes it's not many of
that's
us
it.
in a room and we feel like we have to assimilate or, be quiet or do things the way that's expected for us to do. But if we stay true to ourselves and have each other's back in spaces, we can be our authentic selves, and we should, because we are powerful people, we are brilliant,
Yes.
and we have so much to give. But because of what we get, because of the backlash or whatever we
Backlash.
get, we are hesitant to do that more. But just think of how powerful we would be if we did that. Take out, like you said earlier, Vanna, the white man. Let's stop focusing on the white man, continuing to give him power. What can we do now as a people to build each other
Right.
up,
Right.
to empower our babies, to empower our communities, and not leave. You talked about being seen, Miss Sandra, not leaving behind our child that's doing great, because again, that's the strong,
Right.
who,
Yes.
who's probably having the most problems because we're focusing so much on this
On
other
this
one.
other kid. Right.
So really making sure we have a balance, and we lack balance, and that's one of our biggest problems as a community. We lack the
Yeah.
balance.
That's it.
Yeah.
But that's a learned behavior too.
Oh
That
yeah.
is.
Oh
That's a
yeah.
lot to happen. Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because
Oh,
it's got to be one way or the other
oh
way, right?
yeah. It's
It's the
black or white.
it's yes, those are the characteristics of white supremacy. Let me not get on my
I thought you were getting ready to sing that
Those
Michael
look,
Jackson song.
in clinical terms, those cognitive distortions, those thinking patterns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
real. It
Yeah.
is real. Whew, y'all we done had a hearty conversation.
Yeah. This was. Can
Very
you
hard.
imagine if it was more of us in the room and they could actually gather and put their input in and then understand and then take it back to the community and actually work what they heard. Ooh,
Mhm.
because I'm looking
That
for the next
almost
Black
Mhm.
Wall Street.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh
that
yes.
almost sounds like those monthly events
Yes.
that this one dope woman that I know puts
Yes.
on.
Yes.
Does
Yes,
that sound
Yes.
that's
That's it.
exactly what that
Mhm.
is.
familiar? That's what it is.
Yeah,
Come through, Hood
And
Connection.
Van, I have a challenge for you, because
Yes.
I think it would be so dope to get young people who struggle with mental health
just come
issues
on here.
to help create a voice. Because what I found in this space of doing mental health and focusing on mental wellness, that age group, we've silenced their voices. So they have a lot to share, but we don't create the space for them to share it, to talk about their struggles, and because their struggles are different than ours, and being able to really express what their needs are and give what they have to offer. I learned so much from these, and even my daughter, I learned so much from her.
Yeah.
As much as
Yes,
we fight at times, but she's so wise in a space. Even sitting in therapy with her, we were sitting down, and she's expressing better than me. I was like, whoa, and I felt proud, of course, but we don't create the spaces. So just think about, if you can get like a group of young people on like this, or in a space, in the live spaces, that would be so brilliant.
So does
yeah,
that
No,
sound like a teen summit and then a young adult
Younger,
summit?
yes,
yeah.
Mental
definitely,
That's
health.
it.
yes,
Um.
look at
yes,
y'all putting more work
So
in.
yes.
You
I'll
wrote
send my
that down,
notes in
right?
about a couple of hours,
No, I
Vanna,
didn't know
because
that.
Vanna, I'll assist for sure, because I have a few names for you.
But we
Yeah,
need to do that, and I think that is a great. We got to see.
in it.
We got a season 5. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we get some people that be like, yeah, let's pour into this space so we can keep it
yeah,
going. Because I agree, there is so many rich conversations and things that we could continue talking about in this space. And shout out to Shante Love. You right, like the purpose of the in-person events is to cultivate that community. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to talk it out, y'all. I don't care what you say. We're gonna have to get in these rooms and we're gonna have to talk about it and we're gonna have to really dive in deep. And we did that the intergenerational motherhood conversation. We was in there with tears. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was such a healing space for me, and I was even the host was boohooing. But we're gonna have to get in some rooms and have some real tough conversations, generational wise as well. And
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you, Miss Sandra, because you acknowledge too, like, and you, Keely, like. We all are in some type of form of a different generation, except for the younger generation right now.
Right.
And we're saying like we are dropping the ball. And I even think on my end, in our generation, we are dropping the ball. We are so I think a little self-centered. And it's hard to because we've dealt with so much that I feel like a lot of my generation is just like, well, I went through it, they'll be all
Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
I had to figure it out. You gonna have to figure it out. Or I done missed out on all of my life. What's that, Jody? Mama gotta have a life too type mentality. So it's just like
Yeah.
we dealing with all of that, and so the youth is kind of just raising themselves. It's getting worse and worse over the generations, because also the village has disappeared. Like, back in the day, you did have a
Yeah.
grandma that at least took the kids in. Now ain't no more big mamas for real.
Yeah.
So them kids together, or
No,
they
Big
running
Mama in the
Do
club.
that.
or
Because
big mama.
grandmothers are getting younger and younger, though.
Oh
Grandmothers
yeah, that's a
Exactly.
Big Mama
are
club.
That's what I'm saying.
young.
Yeah.
She had Monroe's. She had Bliss.
Yeah.
Yes.
And to the
Are
point,
they, are they there together?
my grandkids will say when they come to my house, I have a box. Okay, cell phones in the box, and we play Twister, Jacks, Bowler Bat, Wrestle. Matter of fact, I even make them play church. You can be whatever you want. You could be the preacher. You could be the usher. That's what we
I
do.
remember those days.
Right.
Like church up
And
here.
they think it's funny because they jump around, they shout, but now they don't have too much to mimic.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
So
they
going. I'm
that's a
going to Sanders
pull
for
on
game
my
night.
what you said. I was just
head.
like, come on, Miss Sandra, we gonna get a big old game night at your house. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, I gotta wait till I get me a bigger house.
But now I agree with you though. I just had a conversation earlier about how the dynamics of our space has changed.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of like even in the two-parent home, because everybody is so busy and working
Yeah,
that we don't have that family
that
time. Or
quality,
yes,
quality family time.
it's not really happening even in community. I feel like even these that's why I was so big on how trying to and everybody like, well, everybody doing events, but it's the space of the events. When you go to a lot of these community resource fairs and stuff, all you doing is just gathering the information and going
Information.
about your business, right? Nobody's really having a space where people can really come together, talk, have fun, and enjoy themselves. So it's just really like, how do we cultivate more of those safe and make them safe though? Um,
Right.
because yes, when I grew up, they played card games. Family had, fun, get-togethers, fish fries, and
Mhm.
all of that. But again, there was so much toxicness in that space that a lot of times now that people, family don't even want to get together. So I do think it has to be safe, trusted spaces
But
that
I think most of our generation is changing that though with our selected family,
we are.
because
Yes.
I can say that I may not do that with my blood family, but the amount of aunties that my kids have from our friends and stuff, and how we're all coming together and having those spaces, and our kids are growing up together and stuff like that. Like my best friend's daughter called me because she was telling me about some fashion show or something like that. To have them be able to like feel like they can call or text me and stuff like that. I didn't feel like that growing up. I only saw them if I went to their house as if we were going. So I think even though that a lot of us our age, these millennials, are healing, we're trying to also bring our children along for the journey, but also not to the point where we're damaging them
Right.
Yeah.
as we're doing it. And I think that's where I know for me, that's where the struggle is at
Mhm.
times too, because they're seeing me go through things and I'm trying to do it different than what I've seen before. but
Mhm.
also allow them the free
That's
space to ask me, well,
Mhm.
mom, why are you upset? What's going on? Or this, like that.
that's it,
So
right?
that they can also hold space to tell me when
Right.
they're upset and things like that too. Like, even if it's uncomfortable, like, it's not a sign of disrespect because it used to be. Like, don't ask about me. Like, no, it's okay to ask about
But
me.
they
I'm gonna
have a
constantly ask about
sense
you.
of what we like. Like Keely was saying, we don't listen to them, and that's where their mental tension comes from,
Yep.
because they have no way to release. But if you are pouring into them what should be poured into them, it will come out. So it won't be disrespect. My granddaughter told me this. I was really angry, especially when all this brown stuff kicked off and the Karens first came out. And I was already in the mindset, me and white people ain't gonna make it. And my granddaughter saw me.
Mhm.
And the first thing, and the lady was in a wheelchair, but she was still rude.
Mm.
So she bogarted, and I said, "Not today, Jesus." And I said, "Excuse me." So my granddaughter grabbed me. She said, "Granny, that's not very nice."
Mm.
And I
Mhm.
went, "What?" I almost said, "Little girl." It was, but it's what I've been teaching her. You
Yeah.
don't have to react to everything.
Yes.
So use some wisdom. So when she pulled my coattail, I was like, ain't that nothing? She picked a fine time to listen to me.
You allowed her to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
Yes,
Woo!
And this is the thing
And
that
she felt
shows
safe to
how,
do so.
and
That
it
part.
shows
yes,
how dope like it is. Influence is so powerful,
yes.
so to see what you're putting in come out is like
That's it.
initially you, of course, you gonna get a little upset, but then you think about it, man, she's listening and she's
Right.
using it and she's
That's it.
showing me because and then it shows them too, we're not beyond correct, being correct
Right.
either,
That's it. Right
so
there.
like Shante Love was saying, talking to your children. I love that. I think every family should have create space. It should be a meeting. Just like we eat dinner, we should have a weekly, monthly, whatever's realistic in your household to
Oh,
have
you
a
should sit
meeting.
down at the dinner table and
Everybody can
talk.
say how this
Hmm.
family is functioning. What do you
Hmm.
see? And without being redirected, speak how you feel so we can
Hmm.
operate better as a family because there are
Yes.
no every family has some type of dysfunction. But
Yeah,
in order for us to decrease that, we have to create space for everyone to have a voice.
that's it.
So I love that. I love that you are doing it. And Miss Sandra, I love that you can see it. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, I agree. We have to give space to
yeah.
'Cause how we gonna go with the family if the whole family don't have input?
Then you get
If
the
the whole
ones that
family isn't
do.
seen?
You
Right.
get the ones that do, and you trust God for Him to put those out there where it's supposed to go. And I promise you, because God's word won't return to Him void, they eventually gonna come in.
Mhm.
Whether you get to see it or not, it's gonna be the challenge.
And you don't need everyone. You,
Hello.
and again, we always stop doing things or think that we can't do things because it's only three or four. You
Yeah.
know, you had that. I love family. I love getting with family. We get with our family every week. It's not all of us, but whoever shows up, hey, let's do it, and we enjoy each other.
Hmm.
It doesn't have to be all of us. It can be five of us. It can be three of us. But guess what? We're doing it, and influence is great. As
Yeah.
people see it, as family members see it, they come. And some family members, you just really don't need to be in the space. So someone has to start it.
That's it.
Someone has to start the tradition and break the cycles.
Right. That's
Yeah.
how families grow. That's how love flourishes. That's how we get onto society and we can be our authentic selves and things like that. Like I tell my kids all the time that Michael B. Jordan is their daddy, they new stepdaddy soon. And like we give that space for them to talk about that. It's hard to see mom with somebody else. But it's the growth and the love that's gonna come from that.
I love
Okay,
you.
listen, it's okay. I was tying bandanas around my daughter's head, and I was telling her, this your real daddy.
My mom used to tell me Smokey Robinson was my real daddy. I just feel like, just trying to let it be known.
Okay.
Ooh, on that note.
Yeah. Them
I
two
try
right
to bring
there.
back around. I'm like, nah, I do bring back around.
On that note, all black people, again, shout out to Minority Mental Health Month. Just want to acknowledge that please, please, please find some way, somehow, to check on your mental health for your sake, for the next generation's sake, for our community. We need it.
Yes.
We do. And mental health. Shout out to Teresa Pearson. I'm gonna take her thing. She said mental wellness is mental wealth. So
Yeah.
yeah, we need to make sure that our mental health is well,
Right.
so we can continue to be wealthy in wellness. Not necessarily got to be this, but just mental
That
health
part.
is wellness.
Mhm.
You feel better, you act better, you do better.
Right.
And
So
then all things that are meant for you come to you.
Yes.
Like
You're
Michael
well.
B.
Yes. If you are well mentally, you're okay physically. Because when we're not okay mentally, we're not okay physically, and vice versa. So we have to take care of the whole person.
Definitely need to talk about that. Yeah. Whoo, child.
yes.
That's a whole nother thing.
I'm
Because
telling
it
you, it's so much
benefits.
that we didn't get a chance to touch on that, and even thinking about in professional spaces, microaggressions. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Miss Sandra loves to talk about the microaggressions, and it's real. It affects everything. It makes me think about a few things that were in the news that is a direct result of some of those things that we didn't get a chance to touch on. But it's so much in this space that we can talk about.
It is, especially being black, and what we dealing with, because it's like it's a multi-layered situation. Even if your household is a solid household,
Yep.
it's maybe the environment.
That's a sub series in its own. Shoot.
Right.
Because even I talk about this all the time. Like, even for me, like, I might be planning something great in my household, right? And then my kids step outside of the household. They gotta deal with other kids. Bullying is real. These kids going to get bullied from what you said. They done been bullied at home, so they come into schools bullying people. Then you might be the one that's doing something different in your household. So if you let them over somewhere else, it might be different there, and they getting other things. So it's like it's the systems and how it's created to access things that could be therapeutic and helpful for us. We don't always get access to that. So it's just so many levels trying to, like, keep us from feeling like we have a way out. But I just want us to know that even though it may be hard, there is still a way out, and we can really zoom in and focus on taking care of our mental health.
We gotta change our thinking.
We have to change our thinking, and it's okay to be different. I'm learning.
Yes. It's
okay to be different, and it's
great
okay to be vulnerable.
Yes.
I'm embracing that like crazy too.
You,
Yes.
my little buddy right there. We're gonna put on the same earrings. No, we're not. You just defiant. No, I just like being different.
She's gonna use the easy earring
Yeah,
example for
because
you. We
that
talk about defiance, but that's a whole nother segment too. But we both have those earrings now, but that's not where the defiance come in at. But we're growing. Look, we've been
that's
together
why I
for a
said
long time.
mental health. We need
Yes.
that one right there.
But one thing we don't lack in this office is laughter. We laugh all day, every day, because we deal with a lot. We give a lot because someone gave to us. So really, if we were doing this for money or anything like that, it wouldn't be effective, So it's a heart posture for us because we all came from a place, and the people we serve are us, and we are them. So we have to pour into them.
It's a mission. This is not a job for us. This is a mission. And missions are lifelong. And that's one reason why my business, I regrafted my name to Heart Journey, because it is a lifelong journey. And nobody gets to decide what path you take but you.
Amen.
Yes.
That part.
You do not want anybody to write the end of your story.
Come on in the room.
Girl, stop.
Maybe Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry could write the end of my story.
Oh Lord.
I do her.
You gonna get a zero Rotten Tomato rating.
For Michael B. back to
You have to make up your mind, Miss Love, which one is gonna be. You cannot have
Tyler's gonna write the story about me and Michael B being together. I already had my tragic black woman part of the Tyler Perry story. Now it's time for the happy ending. I just need you to come in and write that part.
The happy ending. It's coming. It's coming. It is coming. Manifestation is real.
Okay.
All right. Speaking into existence, Michael B, you better come on. All right, y'all. So, real quick, just to let y'all know, we are coming to an end of season 4, which I still cannot believe. Shout out to you, Shante Love, for joining me for this season. We got one more live event coming up. We talking about the school system is failing Black children still. We had that conversation, I want to say, in our first season. And so we can't bring that back because as we are 3 years still in the Hood Talks podcast space, and yes, this is a conversation that needs to unfortunately continue to be had. Mm-hmm. So if you can join us Saturday the 27th, that's next Saturday, come out 2 to 4. If you have not tapped into our live events, I do think you're missing it. So I would say come join us to see what it's like, because this is the last one. So come tap in. And we got one more conversation with our co-host Shante Love. So be on the lookout for that as well. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. Yes. Keely, really fast, tell people if they want to tap into your services and find you, where can they do that?
So if you are interested in mental health services, or you are interested in any type of social services, because we are all things social services, we are located on West Florissant, 9231 West Florissant Avenue, right across from the new Boys and Girls Club in Ferguson. Our telephone number to the office is 314-279-1444. Call if you're interested in services or you just want to have a conversation to see what's out there and what we can offer you.
All right. Tap in. Any last words, Shante, before we... I know you got a lot going on.
I mean, I've been manifesting a lot. Michael B. Jordan, not yet, but things are coming up for your girls. So I am currently in the semifinals for the Helium's Funniest Contest in St. Louis. I'll be performing on Tuesday the 23rd at 7. After you visit the live podcast with Vanna on the 27th, get your tickets for the St. Louis Arts and Entertainment Awards, because I am nominated for Female Comic. Vanna was also voted for Favorite Podcast, and I'll actually be performing at the awards that night from 6 to 9 at the Grand Dale. Also, quick shout out, we're having the Hood Connect fundraiser on Monday at Platypus. It is 90s style karaoke night. We're having a costume contest for the best 90s outfit. It's going to be a vibe. So you got things all week. You got Monday karaoke. You got Tuesday Helium. Saturday, you got the live podcast. At the end of the night, you're going to get fly and come to the St. Louis Award Show or root for your girls. It's a vibe. Life is lifing, but it's also very like God, I see you working. You working.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited to put on my 90s outfit. I'm already in my head about what I'm gonna wear.
Yes, come on, Keely. I'm about to get on their mic and sing.
Yes. I'm definitely singing some Toni Braxton. It's going down.
I'm gonna be like, Shantae's got a man.
See, I'm saving that song for when I actually get Michael B. When y'all see me sing that song, it's over. Y'all probably won't see me again, so I come back from California. Like, when I sing that song, y'all might as well just go ahead and prep for the wedding. If you hear me sing that song, just prep for the wedding.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tapping into another episode of the Hood Talks podcast. We appreciate you. Make sure you share, like, and yeah, on that note, as we do, we out.
All right. Bye.
All right.
Yay! Thank you for tuning in to the Hood Talks podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page and also follow us on all our social